Hello, this is Beth, the producer of Totes Recall, and the show will start in just a moment, but first I wanted to share something fun. This episode is our 99th episode, which means that our next episode will be our 100th episode. Plus, it also happens to be our 7-year anniversary. So to celebrate, we're putting together something special. And I want to ask you a quick favor. We want to know your favorite moments from Totes Recall over the last 7 years. You can let us know by leaving us a message on the hotline at 612-208-9788, or you can send us an email at hello@totesrecall.com. Again, the number is 612-208-9788, and the email is hello@totesrecall.com. Please let us know by Friday, July 9th, if you want to be part of our 100th episode celebration spectacular, or whatever we end up calling it. Thank you all so much for listening. Now let's get to the show. Totes Recall.
Welcome to Totes Recall, the podcast where we talk about a movie we don't or can't or refuse to remember very well. Then we pause and we watch that movie, and then we come back, and now we are able and willing to talk about the movie again with more information. During that time of watching We Ate Pizzas and Salads, my name is Dan.
This is Molly.
I'm also Dan.
And I'm Beth.
And our movie this episode is Fargo for the Double Respect Listener Opinion Movie Challenge.
That we challenged ourselves.
We challenged ourselves to do 2 respected times,
Yes.
and this is the other one.
So if you were feeling disrespected before,
Get
strap
ready,
in.
you're about to be respected.
So hard.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you voted for this movie, we now respect you.
Yep.
As of
And
the
voted-
releasing of this episode.
Right now, we respect you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this movie takes place in Minnesota, which is fun for us because we're also here.
Wait, it doesn't take place in Minnesota, though. It's made in Minnesota, right?
No, it takes
Is it?
place
No,
in
it
Minnesota.
takes place here.
Why is it called Fargo?
Exactly.
I don't know.
I believe
doesn't-
they go to Fargo to hire
Yeah.
Buscemi and Storm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
I
Fargo's
believe.
in North Dakota.
Yes,
Correct.
but
Yeah.
I believe the criming is in some way associated with Fargo.
So, okay,
Okay.
this is what I can't remember, though. Is it a small town in Minnesota, or is it Minneapolis that they are,
Both.
okay. I couldn't remember the crime.
I'm pretty sure
The crime is a kidnapping.
the
Oh.
criming happens not in the Twin Cities, but I know at some point Frances McDormand ends up in the Twin Cities for,
Okay.
I don't know, reasons.
I don't remember.
That'll be
very much
interesting.
about
I don't
this movie.
remember any part of the city in this. But
I mean, most
saw
of
it
the
when it
movie
first came
takes place
out.
outside, as my remembrance.
Yeah.
It's
Just
I
her in a
definitely-
furry hat.
I definitely saw it in theaters at a time when I had no notion about Minnesota or North Dakota or anything else. So it probably actually shaped a lot of my ideas,
Oh, no.
to be honest. Yeah.
What year do you think that was?
Ooh, great question.
I had to look something up, so I have spoiled for this.
Oh.
Abstained.
Abstain.
And I shall guess 2002.
Whoa.
Okay. I'm going to say 1997.
I'm going to say 96.
Wow. Price is right.
And
for
I'm
me
going
right
to
now.
add this came out during an important year for me.
Oh, it's
Oh.
96.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta
Is
Olympics, we know.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah. The Coen brothers were like, God, Atlanta's getting so much hype right now. And they
Wait.
wanted to put out a movie.
She would have also maybe graduated from college in 96 because you graduated from high school in 92 because we
Yep.
learned that in the My Cousin Vinny episode.
We sure did. But canonically, I'm only 35.
That's
Of course.
true.
So, yep. Mm-hmm.
And this movie, as we said, is written and directed by the Coen brothers.
CoBro. It's a
who are
CoBro.
some local
CoBro
filmmakers,
Fargo.
of which all their movies I have seen.
I have also seen all those movies.
I
CoBro
believe
Cinephiles.
This is also an Affie 100.
It is an affy.
Excuse me?
Are you calling it an affy now?
I like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're
Is that
just
what
in a
true
pile of the
cinephiles?
know.
I see.
Cinephiles call it the affies.
I see. Okay. Great. That's
For
great.
listeners who are newer to the podcast, it all started out when Beth had legitimately seen all of the AFI best movies.
Wow.
And that was plenty. We were all really happy with that. But then Dan secretly watched the first 100 movies, and he let us know that during the graduate episode, just super casual.
Yeah.
And then he had the gall to watch the other 23 movies. So now he is like neck and neck with Beth on our cinephile list, and we have to put up with him being smug about it every episode.
Yes. That is
Is
a
that
good
fair?
summary. That's a great summary.
Yeah. That
Checks
was
out.
essentially a 60-second summary of that bit.
Yeah.
Good salad
Very.
holding.
This movie is good. That is what I remember.
Yeah.
It is very. This movie is very much like. I feel like I'm pretty confident this movie opens with a tundra-like hellscape of frozen roads and snow to really set the tone of the heart of Minnesota winter in which this takes place.
And
I remember that Frances McDermott is pregnant.
Oh,
Like
Yeah.
pretty
The
pregnant.
The character or the,
The character.
actor? Oh,
Well, I don't know if the actor too, but the character for sure.
okay.
And I know there's a moment at the beginning when the other police officer says the plates read DLR, and she was like, oh, maybe that's dealer. But she finds a really, which I now understand, to be not only diplomatic, but very Minnesotan way of pointing out his error. And that at the end she says, little bit of money. All of this for just a little bit of money. And she shakes her head. And it's very profound. I have one other fun fact.
Is it from a certain website?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
it's not.
First
It's
half?
from real life.
I
No,
think
it's from real life.
I got nervous. Just the way you said it, it just sounded like a preamble
No.
for, certain things.
The actress who plays the wife who gets abducted in this movie is played by a local who would later come take improv classes, including I got to be her teacher. She was one of our students.
Oh, weird.
Wow.
Yeah, her name is Kristen, and she was excellent at improv. But it was a really long drive for her. So, we didn't get to see her for more than, I think she took like 3 classes in a row. She was great. Anyway,
on.
shout out to
awesome.
Kristen. You do an incredible job playing this character. It's amazing.
Great.
Great.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
fun.
So y'all might have improvised with her and not even realized it.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
famous.
Yeah.
I probably didn't.
Hey, buddy. Don't sell yourself short.
No, I'm selling myself accurately, I think, just in the way that I engaged with our local improv community.
Well, I also saw this movie before I moved to Minnesota or was aware of it, maybe. Like
So you
as
saw this pre-meeting your now wife, no big deal.
probably. I
And you
feel
saw
like I
this pre-living with your friend from college, or not living necessarily, but knowing your friend from college from here, no big deal.
pre that, because I remember, yes, my good Minnesotan friend in college. Shout out to Nick from Maple Grove.
Hey!
Raged against this movie in college because he thought, everybody that was not. It made everybody think that everybody from Minnesota sounded a certain way.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Try being a Southerner, but
yeah.
go on.
Which he also had. No big deal, Nick, but you had a pretty thick Minnesotan accent.
Wow.
You guys listen to this? I don't think. If you do, hey,
Uh-oh.
let me know.
You'll
I haven't
find
talked to you in 15 years, maybe.
Leave us a voicemail.
Yeah, Nick.
So we can hear your heavy Minnesotan accent.
He doesn't live here anymore, so maybe it's left him.
Sure.
Yeah, so it certainly gave me an inclination of the area, but I don't remember it. I don't remember it locking me into anything. I do remember the frozen hellscape
Nice.
of like driving. There's like a scene where she's driving around on a parking ramp, and there's like a lot of snow.
Mhm.
And I remember at the time thinking like, that looks like a pain in the ass, and then not experiencing it till later and be like, oh yeah, when they haven't dealt with the snow yet, it is a pain in the ass. But they get to it pretty fast. Shout out to the plows.
I just don't remember really what happens in this movie at all.
What do you think happens?
I remember Steve Buscemi and Frances McDormand maybe eating at a restaurant together.
Okay,
Or like
wow.
he's at a restaurant. He's definitely in a restaurant at some point.
Steve Buscemi is in a restaurant.
Or a hotel.
Maybe a restaurant
Okay.
and a hotel.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there's the actor that okay, so then there's like 2 crimers maybe
Okay.
at the end or during the film.
Uh-huh.
And one of them is that guy who's like I think he's Swedish. He was also an American guy.
Peter Stormare. Is he Swedish or is he like?
I don't
Dutch.
know, I guess. I don't
Yeah.
know where he's from.
Is he
but
Dutch?
We'll find out.
That's what I was going to bet.
Dutch
he's
or
Dutch?
Swedish?
Dutch.
The point is, he's
Danish?
like, I don't know. He is one of the most unsettling European character actors that show up in movies, and like that's like his
Yeah.
whole bread and butter, right?
Yeah.
Is like
Yeah.
he really leans into it, like he knows it, and he's great. He crushes it all the time.
Crushes.
He was the best part of that Keanu Reeves Ghostbuster movie where he plays the devil for like 10 minutes.
Oh.
The devil's advocate.
No, that was Al Pacino. He was
what I was
Oh,
thinking.
Constantine?
Constantine, yeah.
Ah.
He shows up for like 10 minutes and just like monologues as the devil, and he's like so hamming it up and knows exactly what his job is in that movie, and it's amazing.
Yeah, he crushes. Frances McDormand probably crushes.
Oh, she
Yeah.
definitely
Oh, yeah,
crushes.
for sure.
I think
Buscemi
she probably won
crushes?
an Academy Award for that, didn't she?
Oh, yeah.
I think this was her first statue.
Yeah. And now she's just raking them in.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
she's just like statues
stop.
on statues. She
Were
can't
they-
stop. Who's
she's-
stopping Frances McDormand?
No one
she's
can
married
stop
to
her.
one. Oh,
She's married to
no,
one of the Coen
no
brothers.
stopping.
Is that what you're going to
She's
say?
yeah, she's married to one of the Coen brothers, and I'm wondering
Yes.
if they were married before this movie was made or if they
Ooh.
met on this movie.
Ooh.
That sounds
I'm always
like
bet
a
they met on set of Fargo.
Wow.
Just
Fun.
because for romance.
Just it seems sweet, but maybe they did. Maybe she's in the movie because they met before then. I don't know.
maybe she
CoBro.
CoBro. Yep, I love it. The old
They
CoBro row.
roped her in to tie in the knot.
Hmm.
Co-rope.
Do you think they planned? Do you think she was gonna be in like they were like, oh, I'm writing this like I don't know, we're kind of kicking around this idea for like a murder movie back home, and then they got pregnant and they were like, oh shit, and they like that made inspired them to write this entire character. Like she was already gonna be in it, but now they're like, yes,
That would be a great story if that is how it happened.
yeah, it would. But yeah, who knows? Yeah, she crushes in this movie. She is like, yeah, she's like delightfully. I mean, she's sort of like the whole. She embodies like the whole contrast of this movie's tone, where she's like, yeah, she's got this extremely exaggerated Minnesotan accent, and she's just very. She speaks with this very like, I don't know, just kind of like down home, like oh, just a calm. Just a nice mom, right? But then she's also like clearly the most competent like person in the movie.
Yeah.
Right?
Who are the
Yeah.
other cops?
Ooh, great question.
Is William
Probably-
H. Macy her husband? Or is he the
No,
husband?
I think he's the husband.
Yeah.
Is he? And he works in a business office. Is
Yeah,
that true?
good.
It's
Yes,
car
I love that.
salesman, right?
Car
No.
salesman. Yes.
And this is, we should say, this is based on a real news.
Is it?
I don't
it
think
says that, but it's not really. It
Yeah.
says it
I
at
think
the
it is.
beginning, but it
It's
says
not?
at the beginning it's based on true events, but it's not really based
yeah,
on.
they
true
open
events.
every
Best
season
bet.
of the show that way too.
But I thought the movie was for reals.
I don't think so. I think they just did that to be cheeky.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is cheeky. They
Mhm.
got me. I got punked.
You got punked by the CoBros. You got a
CoBro
CoBro.
CoBro row.
They
CoBro
pulled
pullo
the
ver.
What? Oh my
Co-
God.
bro over your head.
You got
Your
bitten by
eyes?
the CoBro.
These are all
Oh,
terrible.
That's good. Thanks.
Well, Molly will confirm when she gets
I
bored.
will.
Yeah.
I sure will.
Wow, I thought it was for reals.
So this Beth, what do you think the crime is, if you barely remember this movie?
Well, Molly said that it was kidnapping.
But, like,
Abduction.
why? Who's kidnapping who? For what?
Money.
Yeah.
I think
Always
the crimers kidnap her to maybe get the William H. Macy to do something.
Okay.
Or no, he kidnaps.
So-
I really don't remember.
I love
Does
all
he
of this.
fake the kidnapping?
Now
And
we're
then
onto
there's
something.
layers.
This is very intriguing.
Yeah.
Lots of
I don't
layers.
know.
Do you remember
no
the
idea.
famous death scene in this movie?
With the wood chipper? Is that what you're talking about?
That's what I'm talking
I
about.
do remember
Yeah.
that. But isn't that one of the crimers chopping up one of the other crimers?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Buscemi's stopping Storm. No, other way around. Storm
Come
Rare's
on.
chopping Buscemi.
You're
Yeah,
gonna,
that seems
You
right.
think you're going to
Chip it.
cast Stormare and not have him be the one operating the wood chipper?
Yeah, I just remember Buscemi always dies. Also, this is double
All
trouble.
for
The
a
old,
little
the
bit
old
of money.
CoBro,
Cobro
Boosh.
Tro.
What?
Trope? Is that
Coen
what that
Brothers
was
Double
for?
Trouble.
Oh, Double Trouble.
Double
Cobro
trouble.
Dotro.
Yeah, Storm Rare's gonna kill and Buscemi's gonna die.
How is that double trouble?
It seems like it's just the same trouble, just different aspects.
Well, because
because
if you had
different
Storm Rare
perspectives.
and anybody, Storm Rare's going to be doing the killing, and if you had Buscemi and anybody, Buscemi's going to be
Buscemi's
doing
gonna
the
get killed.
dying.
I see. Okay.
So now
Oh,
it's
double tropes.
Cobro Dotro.
I get it.
Wow.
Yeah, who's the other cops? She's got a
I don't
cop,
know.
bud.
I bet they are now recognizable character actors.
Yeah. Is the sheriff is dumb, probably? Is there a sheriff involved?
I feel
Yeah,
like this is
she-
one of those movies
Isn't she
where
the sheriff?
Yeah, I think she's a sheriff
Oh.
or
Yeah,
a
She has to
County,
work with
right?
somebody else?
Hmm,
Because there's some like state lines?
I think so.
She's got brown. She's wearing brown. I think that's
She's wearing
county.
brown. She's got a furry brown hat and a brown jacket. I feel like this is one of those movies where she is competent and she works with a bunch of dude cops who are at least, if not dumb, just like lazy and jerks.
Yeah, I think she's
Right?
got a nice husband who like.
I also,
Oh,
that's
very
nice and
sweet.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
real
there's definitely
sweet.
I feel like there's like a, pleasant but dark undertone scene of her just like being emotionally taxed by her whole situation and talking to her husband about it.
Yeah,
Mm.
and he's like
Yeah.
supportive.
That's Dan's
Yeah.
bet. Is her husband is very sweet and listens to her process the trauma that she goes through in her job.
Yeah.
And this is a comedy, for lack of a better
Is it?
classification.
I don't think so.
Is it? But it's like a dark.
I think it's
It's
a
like a Coen Brothers
CoBro.
comedy.
Yeah, but they've done
CoBro
sillier movies though that are
That's
not
true.
as dark. I feel like
Yeah.
this is more of one of their like. I think this is one of their CoBro dramedies, right? Because they do
CoBro com-dram.
because they definitely. I think we talked about this in the Lebowski episode. Like they definitely have this thing where like they do goofy movies that have sort of these dark, violent moments. But then they also do these more like darker movies that have some lighter, goofy moments, and they kind of vacillate between the two,
Yeah.
right?
Because I think even the wood chipper is like kind of absurd. There's like a
I mean,
leg
it's-
sticking out, and someone comes upon him, and he's like,
Yeah, I mean it's like
Yeah.
grotesquely
But it's, like,
absurd,
fucked.
but it's like fucked up, yeah. Whereas like Lebowski, it's like this is all very silly, but
Yeah.
then they
Bring it.
John Goodman bites an ear off a flea, and Steve Buscemi dies
Yeah.
of a heart attack.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a
Yeah.
breaking news alert here about the Coen
Okay.
brothers.
Give it to me.
Beep, 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 beep.
They do good. They do a good job of making movies.
They make
No,
some CoBro solid movies. CoBro
Oh,
Somos.
dear. This is hard.
Yeah. I feel like I have mostly enjoyed all of the Coen Brothers movies I've seen. I am not a CoBro cinephile, but
Lady
I've
Killers
seen
is not
a
very
few
good.
of them.
Rest
Lady
of them
Killers is
great.
not very good, but Hanks kind of crushes it with the
I know,
assignment he's
Hanks.
given. Yeah.
I love them all.
Molly hates the Coen Brothers, or she is
Molly's a
waiting.
known Cobro. Hoter.
I'm just hoping it'll all stop at some point.
Well, here's something that we always talk about, and it's do women talk to each other? The Duck to Walls test is what I'm talking about. Coming at you. We got Frances McDormand named. I sure hope so.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to say
I'm
yes.
going to have faith. Yeah, I have faith. She'll say talk to at least one person who's named. Even briefly. Maybe a fellow
like
employee.
a witness.
Oh, there you go.
She's gotta talk to people.
Yeah, and
Like
this movie is definitely like a, hey, here's just some like seemingly almost random vignettes while she's trying to figure this whole shit out. So there's a chance that one of those people she talks to is a named woman.
Yeah.
I'm not confident. I'm going to say no.
Or like administrative at the sheriff's office.
Sure, like, hey, Doris. Oh, hey, you got a call on line 2. It's
not a man.
the
Oh,
husband.
geez.
Oh, right. It has to be not a man.
Yeah, the coffee machine's out, so you got to go.
Oh,
to
yeah? All right.
yeah.
We got to go to what?
Oh, Wawa. I've been watching too much Mayor of Easttown.
Oh, my God.
My Delco.
Wrong regional reference.
Yeah.
Molly's bet when we come back, we're going to have Minnesotan accents strong.
Have.
More.
Goofed
They've already been
Than we
talking
are
like this
now.
the whole time, Molly. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Have some hot dish. Oh,
geez.
Molly's bet. Somebody says hot dish.
Hot
Okay.
dish? You think anyone
Yes.
says bars?
Bars.
Ooh, I hope
Bars.
so. God, I
Lemon
hope someone says
bars.
bars.
7
For
layer
anyone
bars.
outside of Minnesota, hot dish is casserole,
Yeah.
basically. But it usually has
Ooh.
tater tots on top.
I should have saved this.
Sure.
Spoiler alert for the past. We talked about Minnesota and our bonus content, but I should have saved this today. We taught our child Duck Duck Gray Duck
Mm-hmm.
this weekend,
Ooh.
and I really was like, shouldn't we do like Duck Duck Goose so he's not ostracized by the rest of the country?
Where's he going to go?
Where's he going to go? How dare you? He's going to be a world
No.
traveler.
Yeah, but like at what age is he going to be doing it?
I don't know.
Like, is he going to get into like, okay, guys, it's a company team building exercise. We're going to play Duck, Duck, Goose. You're all 25 or above.
And he's like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Is that
It's
duck,
gray
duck,
duck.
gray duck?
Get out.
Duck, duck, gray duck is
Get out of here.
absolutely confounding.
You're grounded. You're never going to space. There you go. That's your plan. That's your secret plan, right?
Yeah. Anyway, Minnesota's got different words for things.
It gives it an extra layer because then you can go around and you can be like yellow duck, mustard duck,
Oh.
hamster duck,
Right.
gray duck.
Right.
Or you can
Literally,
say like,
no one has ever
you can say
explained
like
that to me.
great duck and really
Strategy.
throw some people
Oh.
off.
Yes, it's an LOL joke.
Sure,
I had
but
no idea.
you
It's
could do,
an
like,
extra layer.
duck, swan, loon,
What?
I
goldfinch.
mean, sure.
Yeah, if
Okay.
you want.
When I was
crow.
growing up, you had your option of duck or
Bluebird.
goose.
It's 2021, Molly.
Yeah. Waterfowl
no-
is a spectrum.
There's no binary anymore in any situation.
All right.
Whatever birds or animal or
Rocks.
rock, sure.
Birds of a feather can flock
Duck,
however they want.
duck,
Yeah.
igneous.
It can be
Compassion.
Another one.
down to flock with whomever.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Rainbow. When you're hungry at 1 a.m., goose.
Oh, this sounds
Oh.
fun.
Dan.
Well, how should we rate this movie, Bob?
Wow.
We are going to rate this movie CoBro Dojo.
Okay.
I'm
I
excited about it.
Mhm.
have some questions.
Please.
Okay.
Okay, so in that word, CoBro Dojo, is
Mhm.
dojo a dojo, or is that short for two words that start with do and then Joe?
Dojo is what it is,
Okay.
and in part because my brain just need a refresher where the thing that we were saying is what it is.
Okay, so it's a martial arts studio
Yes.
that the Coen brothers fight each other in. They are the senseis or senpais.
They're like the senseis of film.
Okay. Oh.
Okay.
So
like
it's
Masterclass?
where, yeah, or like I guess it's possible that like Scorsese would enter the
Go.
CoBro
Like the
Dojo.
dragon.
Yeah,
Okay.
that could happen.
But are you still required to wear like a traditional martial arts garment in order to talk film?
You're required to sit in a director's chair.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So as cinephiles, we would be considered black belts within this dojo.
Yeah. I thought I'd
Within
get black
this
belts.
dojo, you would be maybe a yellow belt.
Wow.
I'm just saying, this is just a compliment to the dojo. I mean,
Okay.
to the CoBros.
Yeah.
Not a
You thought
disregarding your.
just because you've watched all the CoBros, you think you're the same belt level as the CoBros?
I don't know.
You're saying
Wow.
if you were learning a martial art and you're like, hey, I learned all these moves, but then you went into a dojo and
I
the guy
watched
was
a
like,
YouTube video.
oh, I created these moves and I continue to create new moves, you'd be like, yeah,
we'll
we
do
should be
that.
the same belt?
Yeah.
What?
I take
You
that.
would whoop his ass?
And then I put my name on the dojo.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Holy shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Oh no, Jojo.
Oh, no,
No, dojo.
So wait, is somebody? So you're saying that at some point someone's going to come into this dojo? They're coming for the CoBros, and they will take over as like the darkly comic, comedic, dark
Yes.
brother
they'll kick their ass in
filmmakers.
filmmaking.
Yeah. They'll take over
Kick their
the
ass in
CoBro
filmmaking.
Kai.
Yeah.
Ooh, do you think those two? Do you think those two dudes that made Adam Sandler is a creep with Gems movie? Do you think they're gonna come for the dojo? Do you think that's their whole thing?
Oh,
They're
I haven't
trying
seen
to.
Oh,
Gems.
they're gonna try, but they're not
They're
gonna
gonna
be
train?
Able to...
I don't know.
Oh, training montage.
Uncut Gems is
Oh.
pretty good.
I'd watch that. A training
Anyway.
montage made by some really amazing filmmakers.
Yeah.
Great.
But anyway, you can have up to 5 in your ratings.
Okay.
when
5
you-
dojos?
Up to
It's like
5
franchises?
CoBro dojos.
So it's a franchise opportunity.
Yep.
Wow.
Great.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Dan, you
Okay.
go first, as we all know.
My name is Dan. I go first. I remember, as I bet early on in this half, this movie is good. I'm pretty sure that's true. I've enjoyed the anthology series they made out of it on TV, which kind of tries to thread a similar tone, but it's also like way more bananas because it's also tries to kind of thread the whole tone of their entire oeuvre. Sometimes I feel like Francis will crush, and I think it's going to be still one of their best movies, probably for dojos.
Wow. Should have wrote notes for that.
Yeah.
Note toes.
Nope.
No nose. It's no. In the
But
notes.
it's no notes. I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Your Hanks is in the mail.
Me.
Beth, you're
It's
up.
me, Beth Gibbs. Now it is my turn. Yeah, so this was one of the movies that on Facebook when it was like, what are your favorite movies? And I'm like, oh, Fargo, because I wanted people to think I was cool.
Were you still trying to impress that Chicago person that watched Rope?
No. I was probably trying to impress a boy.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so I probably saw that he liked Fargo, and then I probably said that I liked Fargo. But I do actually like this movie. I just don't
Yeah,
know that
boy.
it's one of my favorite movies because clearly I don't remember anything about it. So I'm going to say 4.5 CoBro dojos.
Ooh, under construction.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah.
It's like a
Like
drive-through.
one of the bros is supervising the construction while the other one
Yep.
is like
Yeah.
debating.
Dojo.
So we'll see
To
if he's
go.
able to finish the project and make it a 5.
Right.
Excellent.
Now it's me. I'm Dan. I am gonna give it 5 because I am quite fond of the CoBros, and this is the Affy film, so it feels like it's gonna be good. And I haven't seen it in a while, so I feel like I'm gonna pick up more. I probably saw it as closer to a youth, not a full youth. Ute, excuse me.
Thank you.
But so I feel like I'm going to pick up more of some nuance as it threads tone, which I always enjoy a movie that straddles tones and genres, which I think this is going to do. So 5. 5
Wow.
CoBro dojos. We've expanded, we've taken over the valley. No one can stop us.
Amazing. This is Molly. I go last.
That's true.
And I would normally give this a 4 to allow myself some room. But out of respect for our listeners, I'm
Oh,
going
right.
to go Beal, Baggins, Bolo, Beth's boyfriend, Bananas. 5.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I didn't know where that was going.
Sorry, I will never learn. I should just write it down and have it available to me.
I mean, it's just as easy to remember as our phone number. So,
We should get a jingle going.
Yeah, we should get a jingle going.
We'll save that for the second half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with that, we're going to press pause, go watch Fargo, and we'll be right back. Hey, listeners, I am extremely excited to let you know about some hot merch in our hot merch section of our website, totesrecall.com/merch.
I love it.
Possibly also /hot merch, depending on how much that takes off. Hey, if you want to represent Totes Recall in your regular life or just want a very comfy, soft, nice cotton shirt, you can get one for as little as $27 that says cool things like, hey, cool it, teens. I have that one, and I cut out the collar because I'm extra cool and
Wow.
also over 40. Or maybe you're just sipping on a boring mug right now. Does your mug make you laugh or remind you of good times? Watching your podcast or listening to your podcast is probably more what you're doing. Hey, that's only $14. That's pretty exciting. Or if you want to be super meta, you could get a Totes tote. You set aside that PBS snoozer and get yourself a Totes Recall graphic pop out your eyes with super fun. Okay?
Yeah.
That's only
Shots fired,
$23.50.
public media.
Public media has been cornering the totes market for too
really have.
long.
I agree.
It makes
We're
a lot more
disrupting.
sense.
We're
There
disruptive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Baby.
mean, that's why we called it Totes Recall, was specifically
Yes.
for the Totes
Yeah.
tie-in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. This was all a
please-
long game to get a piece of that sweet, sweet tote
Yeah.
pie.
Eat shit, Jim Lair.
Yeah. And you know what? We also encourage you to check out patreon.com/totesrecall, where you can become a patron for as little as $1 a month or make us watch whatever movie you want us to for $25 a month.
For a
you
year.
can be very cool like Michael Renner and Drew City.
Yeah.
Both.
Michael Renner and Drew City.
Boop, boop, boop. Michael Renner and Drew City.
They are patrons.
of our podcast. Yeah.
Patreon.com. Don't recall.
Don't go.
No, 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 no.
And we're back. We just watched 99 minutes of wood chippers and bloodshed and some humor.
All right.
I mean, basically.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say most of the movie had wood chippers in it.
Fair. I do feel
Sure.
like the placement towards the end really stands out.
very
like
crucial.
It really is what you
Iconic
walk out of the
filmmaking.
theater thinking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the DVDs of conversations about movies in the 90s, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, it wasn't like a scene that shows up in buy DVDs, but I feel like that was the thing everyone talks about.
Water cooler
this
moment,
movie.
maybe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, did you see the wood chipper?
Oh, that
huh?
CoBro Waco Mo.
Oh,
Wow.
jeez, you see the new
CoBro.
CoBro Mo?
Wacko-mo.
I read about it in the WAPO. Oh, man.
Oh, wow.
Speaking of award-winning publications,
Okay.
All right.
there's a certain award-winning segment.
I've heard of it.
Which
Mhm.
award?
It's
Oh,
well, it's international, and filmmakers it gave it the most promising segment.
yeah, it's very famous because we actually took the dynasty away from,
Sure.
and it was a big deal.
Right. Yeah, there's that big dust
Yeah.
up between us and the Heva brothers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
60.
Summary. Hashtag CDX. Get over here.
So that was that in your head? That was Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, they're close. Let's all
They are
pep band
pretty
music.
close. Pump up the Mortal Kombat a little more.
All right, who's doing it?
I'll do it.
Okay.
Did I just do it?
You did not.
Okay, I'll do it.
Right?
Unless Beth wants to do it. Has Beth
2
ever done it?
episodes ago, you did it. Have I ever done it? I have, but I'm
Tweet at
so bad at it. Okay, I can.
That's what we enjoy.
Okay, I'll take.
Okay.
I'll try.
Ready?
Yep.
Yes.
Go.
All right, we got two crimers. They meet with a guy who is married to a woman. His woman friend, his woman friend slash his wife, has a rich father, and he's in some money trouble. So he hires these two crimers to abduct his wife and use her as a to get some money.
30 seconds.
God. We have a really smart cop played by Frances McDormand, and she's like just solving things left and right, putting pieces together. And eventually we see a lot of things go awry. They kill a bunch of people, and she's figuring, okay, disaster.
10 seconds.
Actually, okay. And then at the end, one of the crimers puts another crimer into a wood chipper.
Time.
He's mad.
See, this is why you walk away with it. This is why that's the thing you walk away with this movie.
Amazing. I love it.
So bad.
I think we covered it.
Disaster.
I think we covered it.
There were just so many more murders in this movie than I'd remembered.
Yeah, there's a lot of murders.
Yeah, we barely touched on them in the 60 seconds.
I got into
there
the
were so
murders
many.
kind of in the second half, and then realized that I had missed a whole part of it, and then started questioning myself.
Yeah.
And then I completely broke down.
Listen, that's why the 60-second summary is award
That's
winner.
where the
If it
awards
were
come from.
easy and went well, nobody would want to listen.
You know, I
That's
laugh.
just like our podcast.
I laugh when everyone else does theirs, but as soon as I'm in that spot, I just crumble into a million pieces.
Everybody does a bad
difficult.
job in their own way. That's what makes it
yeah,
special.
exactly. That's
I
part
get
of what makes it
like-
Too
special.
far in the weeds.
If
at the
this were-
beginning, you
Yeah,
get
if Dan,
flustered.
he would still be describing the frozen tundra
smell,
in
yeah.
the first 5 seconds of the movie.
But that's
I tried a different tactic this time by not saying we open on. I just wanted to
Yeah.
give like, here's
That was
what's
the
going
kid.
on. But by the time I finished that, it was 30 seconds in already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you just
Yeah.
were so focused on those crimers.
Well, they're an important part of the movie.
They are. They're very important.
Played
part
by
of it.
They're-
Steve Buscemi and Peter Storm.
Storm, yeah.
Award winner, Peter.
Yeah.
Who is from Sweden.
There it is.
Oh, very cool.
Wow.
he
Maybe I
is
saw a
ice
movie where he
cold.
Yeah.
pretended to be Dutch or something, and that's how I had that in my head.
Yeah. I think we when we were texting during this movie, we remember that he was one of the nihilists in
The Big
Big
Lebowski.
Yeah.
So I guess
CoBro.
German in
Yeah,
that one.
Dutch.
Yeah.
It's true.
They're
but
German nihilists.
Deutsch.
I've seen him
So-
in various movies, so there's a chance one of those movies he was supposed to be Dutch.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
He's very good. He's
Oh
very
my
good
God.
and so
He's
scary.
So scary.
Yep. Because he murders so early on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you haven't seen Fargo in a while, there's a moment where they get pulled over as they're leaving, I guess, the Twin Cities and headed up to the Brainerd area. Are they headed to Brainerd, though? Is Moose Lake near Brainerd?
I don't know where Moose Lake is.
Because they were saying it was near White Bear Lake,
It
but
must-
that's, like, not in the...
It must.
Seems like they're putting there. It's weird they're putting White Bear Lake near Brainerd somehow.
Are they?
Are they? Or was it just like they were staying in a cabin outside of the Twin Cities and then he got hauled back to Brainerd at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that was it.
I mean, when she's going around the lake, I feel like she's in Brainerd, right? Because they send dispatch and. or
No,
they-
because
I
she
think she's
drives
on
him
her way
back
back from the
to
tr-
Brainerd.
yeah, she's
Oh.
coming back from the Twin Cities, and I think she decides to do a lap around.
Because of the
Moose-
loudmouth, Gary's loudmouth, who
But
is
he's-
Oh,
the
yes.
best character in the
He's
entire movie.
chatting with one
Yeah.
of her colleagues, right? With a different Brainerd cop. But if he's near White Bear Lake or Moose
Not a
Lake,
Brainerd cop.
But like
just a
they
cop.
live in Brainerd.
Who?
Who does?
She does, doesn't she?
She
She
sure
does,
does.
yeah.
Marge, for sure.
Marge
Marge for
and
sure.
That guy that she's talking to on the phone. Probably. Lou.
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 Yeah, but Gary, who met the loudmouth, we don't necessarily know what jurisdiction he's in.
I see. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know where Moose Lake is.
I don't either.
Well, they said it was near White Bear Lake,
I know
which
White Bear
is
Lake.
north of the cities.
Yeah, and not that far north.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was
Closer
my
than you
impression
think.
then is
I mean, Brainerd's not
Is
that
that-
far.
But Brainerd is like
Brainerd's a good drive.
Brainerd's like
It's
northwest.
like 3
isn't it?
hours.
This is the worst. This is
No.
like,
Okay,
This
here's the point
people
though.
love-
The action of
Local references.
okay.
they love local references to geography. No, so I guess the whole point is that yeah, okay, so those murders do happen in Brainerd. So they start out in Fargo. They drive through
yeah.
Brainerd, which normally wouldn't have been anything except they end up doing 3 murders on the road in Brainerd while headed
coming
to the
back.
Twin Cities.
No, coming back
No,
from
this
the
is
Twin
on the way.
Cities.
No,
Yeah,
oh,
because
right.
they have
Okay.
a fucking body in their
right.
car.
Okay, so they start out in Fargo where they get the car
Yes.
and a promise for money. They drive through Brainerd on their way to the Twin Cities. They
Oh,
get
yeah.
to the Twin Cities. They do the abduction. Then they drive back through Brainerd.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't make any sense. My geography. Why are we trusting my geography? I don't
Why doesn't it
know
make
anything about
sense?
Minnesota.
Well, why are they
Why-
going
they-
to
why would
Brainerd
they-
and then back to White Bear Lake?
We don't actually know which lake they're on. That was just
Moose
Gary's
Lake.
loudmouth making a guess.
Oh,
Oh.
but she said that she's doing a lap around Moose Lake,
She
and that's
said
where
to
she
lap
sees the
around
car.
the lake.
Okay.
And then Lou goes, oh, Gary's loudmouth? And she goes,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Well,
So they
yeah.
might have corroborated some other stuff. Also, who cares? Right?
Yeah,
We
you know
do. It's a
what?
Minnesota movie.
Beth, can we cut out everything?
Oh, my God.
Cut out everything.
It's like
And
the
that's
last few seasons
Minority
of Game
Report.
of Thrones. And don't think too hard about the geography and just let the story determine where people
Fine.
go.
Fine.
Then why do they show us the map at the beginning of every episode?
I don't know.
Oh.
Great question.
Every time I felt like I was getting quizzed, I was like, okay, I know Winterfell, but I'm not sure about these other. Okay. It was a great movie. Frances McDormand was phenomenal.
Okay, podcast
So
over.
good.
We're wrapping up.
All right.
So, all right.
I'm just trying
We
to
rated
shift
this with
gears back
CoBro
to the movie.
dojos, which are Coen Brothers filmmaking dojos, where you still
Yeah.
wear a traditional geese.
Peter Stormare is terrifying in this movie, partly because he's somehow has no chill, but is also chill the entire time.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I thought was really interesting is that they just keep on showing how irritating Steve Buscemi's character is,
Yes.
and he makes like as a viewer he makes you frustrated, and so you can just kind of when you just see the like him silently sitting there watching him do that stuff, like you can feel the frustration that he would be feeling, but times a million.
Yeah.
You know, like enough that he'll like murder him. And so I think that they did a really good job of being like, oh my gosh, this guy has like so much anger inside of him without showing him expressing anger at all.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that's terrifying is there's no lead up to it.
Yeah.
There's no like storm or flicker before the warning. He's just like full kinetic energy, always tense.
Yeah.
Could go at any second.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I really felt for the kidnapped wife the whole
Oh, yeah.
time.
So she gets killed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's too bad.
yeah.
I was hoping, I didn't remember if she lived or died in the movie, and I was really hoping she made it through because
No.
her husband is the worst.
Yes.
Like, I just was so angry anytime he was on screen.
Oh man, he was
like,
so
just
good.
how, like, he can't take care of himself at
No,
all.
Macy
It's so
is so good
frustrating.
in this movie. Like
Yep.
he is such a just like pathetic bad man.
Yeah.
But he's like bad at it. He's bad at being a bad
bumbling.
man.
He's bumbling, and because of his, like, ineptitude, I guess, like, he gets all these people killed. It's so frustrating.
Well, it's not just his ineptitude. That's what I love about this movie. It's
Yeah.
like it's not just like it's not like, oh, William Macy is an idiot, so all these people die. It's like all of these people make very specific choices, and it just causes more death. Right? Like his father-in-law is like, no, I'm
Ugh,
taking control of
yes.
it. It's my money, and he gets himself killed for it just because he wanted to be in control.
Yeah.
Like Macy had nothing to do with that. He specifically tried to keep him out of it.
Yep.
I mean, because he was trying to steal all of his money.
Yeah, but also like we probably know he's sucked before this. So like the father-in-law knows like, oh, Jerry sucks. I
Yeah.
can't let him handle this or my
Yeah.
wife's or my
Well,
daughter's gonna end dead.
But he clearly hates him. And also, like,
Yeah.
he doesn't. But like, this is also the same father who is like negotiating with these mysterious people he'd never met that were threatening to murder his daughter.
Yeah.
He's like, what if we give him $500,000? Like,
Well, that's the
dad
running
sucks
theme,
too.
right?
They all suck, right?
They all
Yeah.
suck. Like, if any of them could just accept a deal. Like, at the end, Steve Buscemi's character, all he has to do to walk out of there,
right?
not only alive, but hundreds of thousands,
Like,
nearly $1 million richer.
Literally, he's the only one who knows where that money is.
And he's just got to be
All
like,
he has
"Here's
to do is pay for half a car.
Yeah.
Like, just go ahead and hand over some cash
Right.
and leave. But he's so torqued and
Yep.
so angry,
Yep.
he won't make the deal either.
Yep.
Oh, and then I thought Shep was actually one of the most interesting characters. He plays a mechanic, or Shep is the name of a character at the who's a mechanic at the car dealership, where William H. Macy's character is the executive sales manager.
Executive sales manager.
Yeah.
I don't own the
And-
place. My father-in-law owns it.
And he just does an incredible, like, that character is so interesting because you hear about him before you see him. And one of the most beautiful moments in the script is that there's been a miscommunication about whether they're supposed to meet at 7:30 or 8:30. And you think, holy crap, if that's not correct, what else has not been communicated?
Right.
And
Like,
what else is going to go wrong?
It's already losing its like coherence.
It's already like everybody walk away.
Yeah.
Like, it's already a disaster. You know, like, I don't know. I think even with any like client vendor relationship, if it doesn't start out strong, it's probably only going to get worse.
not a great sign.
Rarely does it get
Yeah.
better over time.
Yeah.
And that was, but I thought the script was just brilliant because it created such awkward and amazing tension in the moment. But also when everything else went wrong, you're like, yep, Shep didn't mention that.
Yeah, and then even Shep is like, and then you find out that Shep didn't know about Buscemi.
Yep.
Oh, can't.
Like he
I
thought
thought
he was only meeting with Peter Stormare.
I think
Oh no, I think he was only vouching for Buscemi.
No, he was vouching for Gurnar or whatever,
Oh.
whatever his name was.
Yeah. And then he was like, Shep was like, I don't know that other guy. I'm not vouching for him. He was like
Yep.
very clear, like, that's not my guy.
Yep. I don't. Yep. Yeah. Because that's why at the end, Steve Buscemi is like, tell your friend Shep I'm going to nail his ass.
Oh.
So Steve Buscemi got brought on by Gurnard, or whatever his name is.
Well, then I don't understand what Steve Buscemi brought to the equation.
I don't know. The willingness to drive, I guess. Maybe.
Second pair of hands.
Yeah, it was probably just like, he wanted another guy there because he had to.
Yeah, they're very bad at it. When the scene where they kidnap Jean,
Oh my God, what a disaster. Again, another disaster.
it's really, I don't know, it's really funny watching him look through the window and that's fucking Buscemi, right? He's up against the window,
Yeah.
like putting his hands again, trying to see in the window, like for way too long.
Yes.
In his ski mask. And Jean's sitting there staring at him also for way too long.
Right.
And then eventually he breaks the window and then Stormare just opens the front door.
Just
and comes
walk
in.
through the front door.
And so it's I don't know, it's kind of the tone of this movie, right? It was like funny for
Yeah.
a moment and then it's like fully terrifying.
Immediately terrifying. And yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, and they make her so much real for how hard she fights for her life.
Yeah, that was great.
Oh, well, that's really hard. And then there's a moment where they arrive at the cabin and she gets out of the car and she runs for her life, but she's got a hood over her head.
Yeah.
And Steve Buscemi laughs. And I was like, there are so many moments in this movie where the people who are directly involved who get killed kind of, you almost feel okay about it, right? But then the victims you feel even worse for.
Yeah.
But like that to me was the Buscemi moment where you're like, wow, he really is a pile of garbage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, that he was laughing at her distress.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, he sucks. Right.
Yeah.
Like he's one
I
of those
guess
people where
that's-
you're just like, oh, this guy sucks. Like
yeah, that was a long way to get to that.
the movie
yeah,
does
for
a
sure.
good job of just like, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like that's what I like about this movie is like they give you a lot of information to be like the people who suck, you know, they suck. But then like it almost makes it what am I trying to say? But it's also like there's no real like satisfaction when they get their comeuppance because it's just like, oh man, so much shit has already gone down. Like so many innocent people have gotten hurt just because of these assholes. And so like there isn't, I don't know, like it's not, like some movies like they very much play up like, oh, the guy you hate is finally getting his.
Yeah.
But like this is not that kind of movie where it's just sort of like, oh, those people suck. But like it's just this, I don't know, it's the same sort of just like empty horror that you get when the innocent people get killed too, almost,
Yeah, this movie's really sad.
What's that?
This movie's
What?
really sad
It's dark, man.
Yeah.
because it's like this whole family is gutted, right?
Yeah, that kid. I mean, his grandpa's
Oh,
gone now. His
grandpa's
his
mom
dad's arrested, and his mom.
All he
is
has
gone.
left is
The Accordion King.
Stan and the Accordion King. God bless him. God damn it, that poster destroyed me.
There's a poster in his room. I missed it. In the
yeah.
little boy's room?
Yes, like he was. William H. Macy's talking to him, and
Who-
trying to assure him that things are going to be okay. and
After
then
he
the
straight
scene,
up forgets that his son is home, his son with a kidnapped mom.
Yep. Yeah, the fucking accountant had to remind him to talk to his kid.
That
That
was
guy sucks. He's the
that
worst.
was the moment. I mean, I hated him the whole time, but I was like,
Oh, that's so good.
You failed as a dad, bro."
Yeah, like he's just so. Yeah, he's like clearly just like such a shit heel
Yeah.
through and through.
But yeah, the kid has a huge poster on the back of his door for the Accordion King.
The Accordion King,
And
and it's just.
It's just like a classic Germanic accordion.
He's
Gentleman
so happy.
on a
The
big-
Accordion King is so happy.
Sound of Music looking hill. Well, the kid's got an accordion on his bed. Did you clock that as well?
I did.
I
clock
did.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's an accordion player.
So it's his hero. the
I
Accordion
wonder.
King.
So
and a white
that's like
poster.
that's a pretty good example of like how I think that this movie gets Minnesota right and also wrong at the same time. Like there are some things where they're just like, I mean, they clearly just turned it up all the way.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
this is how Minnesota is. And like, so the accordion thing is like totally the like polka culture within the Midwest, I guess.
Mhm.
But then there's certain things where, so there are things like that where I'm like, no kid. I mean, I shouldn't say no kid in Minneapolis has an accordion king poster in their room. Maybe
know
they
two.
do. What?
I know two. I know two, and also my grandpa played accordion, but I know two people who are my age.
This is real?
Yes,
Wow.
The play accordion or have an
impressive.
accordion king poster?
play accordion. I don't think the Accordion King is real. I hope, though. God, I
We've
hope.
never heard Weird Al Yankovic play music,
Yeah, but he doesn't call himself the Accordion King.
but he is.
Okay, well, I'm sure some accordion enthusiast has words about that.
Yeah.
You
but
have
they
no
do.
idea. I'm just kidding. This is a comedy podcast. Calm down,
No,
nerds.
no.
Accordion
this is about.
Accordion nerd.
Yeah, come at us, accordion nerds. Except for the two people that I know, because they're cool.
Okay.
Oh,
I guess you're cool. But there,
But
but there are like certain things where I was like, oh, like I know. So the guy that they go talk to, or that police officer talks to, who's like, oh, and then it's a real funny looking guy, and he was, saying this, and then I says, and then he says,
Yeah.
like that I says, he says conversation. I
Yep.
have absolutely been in the presence of that before.
Oh, Gary's loudmouth is very real.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That guy was amazing.
He was
is
amazing.
my MVP of this movie for sure. Holy shit. Oh my God. Like, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's just, it was just like that perfect, just like, I mean, honestly, like even just the visual even captured that guy. It's like, it is the perfect, just like guy moving snow on his driveway,
Yes.
right? Like,
Just immediately goes back to shoveling.
just
after,
talking
like,
outside.
Yeah. Some
With
industrial
like this
grain equipment.
meandering story that like has a point, but goes
Oh man.
in directions that it doesn't need to.
Oh, I love the detail.
Oh my
I
God,
also
so
thought the time when Frances McDormand's character answers the phone,
Yes.
and it's her old classmate calling,
Mhm.
Like,
and they just have the most non-committal conversation. I was
Yes.
like, yes.
Oh, that was so good when like her friend explains how like Mike was completely lying. He never married this other person from their high school. She's not dead. Like all this stuff that just completely tears apart Mike's story, and he just goes, "Oh, that's a surprise."
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
I was wondering why they put that scene in there.
I'm sure there are thousands of essays in film school about it.
Yeah.
I have a theory.
Okay.
Ooh.
I think it's about the ordinary badness of life. That the sort of thesis of it is, to me, that Frances McDormand and Norm, what's her name? Her name is
Marge.
what's her character's name? Marge. Marge and Norm have a good thing. They've got a good marriage. They're nice people. They're married to each other. They're going to be all right, even though the rest of the world is insane. And I think, to me, that the introduction of Mike, who is this person that reaches out and from the middle of nowhere or out of the blue, that's it. He reaches out of the blue and hits on Marge really hard. Using
In,
these
like,
lies.
The most awkward way imaginable.
Oh, the most awkward. Like, it also shows her strength too, right?
Yes.
Because he comes and sits next to her and she's like, nope, I would prefer if you sit on the other side. You know, she keeps her wits about her, but she's, she's too polite to just tell him, to get out of here.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so she politely puts up with all that and turns out he's a total fraud. But yeah, I think that's just about the neediness and craziness of people in big and small ways.
That makes
and how
sense.
she's kind of got insulated from that. That was my take.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
I
I
don't
was thinking about the fact that she's just she's such a good detective. Like, she can just see things right away. She's like, oh, this is how that happened. And she's very nonchalant about it, but she didn't pick up on that. And so I was wondering if it was a commentary on not being able to pick up on, like, kind of
Normal people.
yeah.
Well, but she also didn't pick up on William H. Macy's character lying to her the first time.
No,
Sure.
I think she did.
You think
I mean,
she
she
did?
came
I
back.
think she did. She just didn't
That's
have
true.
anything to go off of
Yep.
other
Right.
than suspicion.
I mean, how can you not be suspicious of that guy?
Yeah, because he's so bad at it,
He's
right?
just the
Like
worst.
squirming the whole time.
He's like, nope.
Yeah.
Like,
oh,
he's-
you know what? Okay. Counterpoint, she did suspect something with Mike, and she called the friend to find out about it,
Sure.
to check on his story.
Yeah.
Mm.
Good detective.
I don't know. I might be reaching just because I like her so much.
I don't know. I mean, she is incredibly. I mean, that's kind of like her whole character, right? Like, she's this. It's very like, if you met her, she just seems like this very like unassuming, just like Midwestern lady. But it's like, oh no, she's incredibly competent and like very self-assured in what she's doing at all times. It's a delight.
Yeah, for sure.
She's so good in this movie. Getting that statue.
Did she get that statue? Did we confirm that?
Yes,
confirmed statue.
did confirm, and the Coen Brothers won for screenplay.
Good.
Writing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Best original.
It's an incredible, tight, crackerjack of a script.
Carjack script.
Yep.
Yep.
She does a really good job of what I think people need, like the good comedy of the CoBros, which is like sort of that wild-eyed, like, well, this is happening, like that's amazing sort of expression of reacting to like, but like giving it, not going too crazy. I don't know. Her just like her wide-eyed, like, okay, we're doing this now.
Yeah.
Is really good. Like sipping the coffee while she's looking at this murder scene.
Yeah.
Just like her face acting really crushes.
Yeah, like even when she's sort of interrogating William H. Macy the second time, like she does it in such a, or though actually the way, I mean, it starts when she's interviewing Shep Proudfoot, where it's like she's so matter of fact, but like never loses her sort of like Midwestern pleasantness. And she's like clearly doing it intentionally to kind of unnerve people, but also to like keep things, I don't know, like she's simultaneously keeping things calm, but also clearly using it as a weapon to kind of unsettle people a little bit.
Also, she's so brave. Like, she goes and investigates before other cars arrive.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I mean, towards the end, just prior to the wood chipper scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like,
great.
oh, I found my car. And then she's just like, all right, I'm going to check it out.
She's so excited about it. My car,
Oh,
my
she's
car.
so excited about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
real nice lady.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Molly's prediction was correct.
was.
It was a very Minnesotan response when her colleague thought the plates were DLR,
Oh, yes.
but the rest of the letters weren't written down.
Oh, so good.
And she says, I'm going to have to I don't agree with your police work 100% there.
Yeah. So thoughtful.
Oh, it's so
polite,
thoughtful.
but also very direct of like,
Yeah.
no,
Oh, yeah.
let's
Well-
correct this.
Okay, very direct for a Minnesotan, right? Because the direct thing is like, no, that's dealer plates.
But that's like her whole thing, though. That's what I mean. Like, she's very direct, but in a way that is like,
You mean she's direct for a Minnesotan?
I mean, she's direct, but she's intentionally direct in that way. I don't see it as like that's just like she can't help herself. It's the way she plays it with Shep and with William H. Macy. I think that's just she knows that's how she can get what she needs from people.
Yeah, she's using her Minnesota nice as a tool.
Like that's what I mean is like she has weaponized it. Like I'm sure she was brought up that way, but like she has like weaponized it. She reads to me as very self-aware of who she is and how she comes off to people.
Oh, and to be clear, I didn't think that was accidental, but I did think it was reflective of the environment that she's in, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying. I'm
Yeah.
just saying it's just a slight degree off. I don't think we're that far
I don't
away.
100% agree with what you're saying.
I don't 100%. My favorite Minnesotan correction, by the way, was a friend. There was somebody had misspelled Minneapolis,
Okay.
and when reaching out, he was like, "Oh, hey, I just want you to know, Minneapolis could be spelled more correctly."
Could be. It could be. It could be. Doesn't have to
Degrees of
be.
correctness.
It could be.
Yeah,
Oh, geez.
very
Just
good.
stop it. Just look. I know we're all repressed and have incredible social anxiety, but we all just got to get over ourselves and just fucking talk to each other. And I'm certainly guilty of it too. But it's like I hate it. It's the thing I hate most about myself. Like,
See, you don't seem like a very indirect person to me, Dan.
not for people I know,
Oh,
and not on a comedy podcast. Sure.
Jeez.
But when I have to like talk to a stranger on the phone about something real and adult, ugh,
Oy.
Yeah.
it's like an entire day.
Well, that's our Totes Recall challenge this week for all our Minnesotan listeners.
Talk to a stranger on the phone.
Just talk directly to a stranger on the phone.
Yes, absolutely.
We've been saying OGs a lot. The accents in this movie are thick as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The-
I was as my first viewing as a Minnesota resident, I was like a little bit like, hey. Everybody's
Sounds
got like fucking Northwoods vibes up here. Even like the people in Minneapolis, straight up
Right.
Minneapolis, not even like Edina.
Yeah.
Fuck those cake eaters, am I right?
Yeah. Well, it's
Local
actually Eden
reference.
Prairie. It's actually Eden Prairie, the school district there. Yes, I mean it's painted with a broad brush.
Yeah.
But they did make this for everyone else.
Yeah. No, I understand why they're doing it, but it just like
Yeah.
was now I was like, oh, okay, that's not
Yeah.
not how it goes. Like the people
Right.
here in general, white people here in Minneapolis, you got some gentle long O's and stuff, but not
Yeah,
the
it's definitely in
thick
there.
ass.
For flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the accents are much more subtle, I would say, in the Twin Cities area, which, but I don't know. When I was watching it, I was like, I wonder if Jean is originally from a small town, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that maybe that's part of her character, because the other people at the dealership and my memory is that the other customers didn't have that strong an accent. It was more subtle.
Yeah, I don't.
But had I just acclimated to the
Yeah,
like
I think
the
it was.
the angry guy. Oh my gosh, that's my MVP is the guy who's mad at the car dealership for being
yeah.
sold the what is it True
True coat.
True coat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, and he's like does he say fuck?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he says
Eventually.
he kind of whispers it. He's like excuse me, but I'm so fucking mad at you right now or whatever.
He showed there's like a physical tension as he tries to like
It's so good.
just release that from his mouth. It was very like Lutheran
Yes.
Lutheran upbringing right there. It's just
Yeah.
like I
Yeah.
am talking to another person in public, but gosh, I'm gonna say it. And he has to like, you could tell like he did a really good job of like paddling like to physically build up to it.
Yeah. I mean, the repressed anger is felt across many characters.
Oh yeah.
Like anytime, what'd you call him earlier? Willie Macy.
Sure.
is like dealing with like when he gets frustrated, he just like kind of hits something for a second and then he's like, okay, I'm fine. But my favorite one is when he's scraping the ice because
Yes.
both Molly and I made the same joke at the same time, which is that's just me reacting to the ice on my car.
Yeah, it's real.
It is
The
real.
struggle is real.
Oh man, I've got an opinion about what kind of ice scrapers are worth their weight.
Yeah, you gave
Or
me
worth
one.
their. Yeah, didn't I?
Mhm.
What style you got? Because
Did I
I
give
got the style
everyone
he's
one?
got. I think it works pretty well.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was like six. They came in a 6-pack, and I gave them away.
I didn't get one.
Oh.
Did I give y'all ice scrapers?
You gave me
Me.
one.
Wow. 6-pack.
Wow.
Well, okay.
Three of
I
us
mean-
here.
Guess we're not one of her 6-pack friends.
Wow. 5 moon, but not 6 ice scraper.
I mean, hey, maybe they just built them better in the 80s because Buscemi used one to like chop through top snow.
Oh,
yeah,
sure.
that's no.
Mhm.
I was amazed he was able to dig so deep so quickly. That was some light packed snow.
I mean, he was pumped full of adrenaline at that point. So.
Yep.
That's true. Oh man, Steve Buscemi goes through a lot.
Yeah.
The beating that he gets from Shep is so brutal.
Yeah. Oh, incredible shout out to the nude stuntman, I assume, who gets thrown over a couch.
Wow.
Really good. Just like socks, bare ass. The couch flips over. It's a really well done stunt.
It's, yeah.
It is remarkable.
I really appreciate a nude stunt. I'm going to say it. I'm going to put it here on the cast. And it's going to dovetail with the sentiment that we all have, which is there should be more dongs in movies.
Thank you. Yes.
Check
More
out
dongs.
Eastern Promises. Viggo Mortensen does
Okay.
some intense fighting in a sauna with just like dong flailing wildly.
Okay.
And it is,
Okay.
it's like my
Incredible.
last camping trip. Intense.
Shut
Oh
up.
my
That is the
God.
worst thing I've ever heard.
Your
And the Hanks
is in the
award
mail.
goes to-
Yeah. Jesus Christ. That episode's coming out before this, right? We're not just
Yeah.
saying
Yes.
nonsense? Okay,
Yeah.
thank God. I hate you so much, but
But
also I'm
if
going to
you
watch this
haven't-
movie.
If you haven't heard that episode because you haven't seen Saving Private Ryan, because I know that some people will only listen to episodes of movies that they've seen.
Sure.
That's a reference to an award that a dad gets for dad jokes, correct? Okay.
Just being,
Yep, a
just
dad
dad,
hangs.
just
dad in
cultural
general,
dad
yeah.
Cultural
energy.
dads,
Cultural
yeah.
energy, which
But I mean,
everyone
it's
agrees.
often jokes, I
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah, yeah.
That's at least
But
the
it's a-
category that Dan's cleaning up.
Sure.
Yeah.
I feel like the core of cultural dads are corniness, whether it's verbal, joking, or dress.
Sure.
There's other aspects,
Yeah.
but I think
I mean,
that's
Gary's loudmouth probably has a whole shelf of Hanks in his house.
Sure.
So,
the ability to just completely steal someone else's time with meandering monologues.
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Great nude stunt though.
Yeah. Buscemi is again, it's the same. It's that thing where, like I was talking about, where like he's such an asshole, but he also suffers on so many levels in so many different ways throughout the course of this movie. Which I guess is kind of the point. Is like all of these people suffer for, as Marge accurately deflates it, as just some money or just a little.
Just
money.
a little bit of
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
And I really
Yeah, that's a-
I appreciate his line of like, I'm not going to debate you. I'm not going to debate you.
That's like his catchphrase.
Yeah. Which is, I don't know, it's such an asshole move.
Yeah,
like-
that is such a like. I don't know. That's such a just like shitty dude move,
Yeah.
right? Of just like, oh, yeah, like turning the argument into something that is not
Yeah.
by even invoking the word debate at all.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know,
It's great. Molly, did you have any more real facts or did you get them all out?
Oh, I haven't even begun with the real facts.
Oh, wow.
oh, did you
First of
acquire
all-
these facts anywhere?
You know what, though? I cannot legitimately say I even went to Wikipedia.
What?
I know.
What's-
Listen.
wait, what?
The situation is this movie, if
Dire.
you look down for too long, you miss a lot of information.
Yeah.
And my texts were blowing up with people telling me stuff. That was very funny.
where did
Did
you
your
get these
5
facts
other
from?
friends with their ice scrapers?
I got them from the internet.
Just in general, just the general internet.
Just a general internet search.
Huh?
Because I asked specific questions because I was in a hurry.
What search
okay?
engine did you use?
Google.
No.
Oh, Molly wasn't
Molly
bored.
went to
She was actually
Google.
pretty focused, and
Typed
she
in
was
some
reading
stuff
texts
to
from
figure
her
out
5 friends. But then she went to
information
Google.com
about the
and she asked
movie.
specific questions
She
about
watched.
the
There she goes.
movie.
Over.
Now Google knows everything.
They already do.
They know everything. Thank you. So, first our question was, is it really based on true events?
Yep.
Answer is yes and no.
I'm listening.
It's not based on any singular series of events. And in fact, there's a disclaimer at the end of the movie that says the entire thing is fictitious. But the Coen brothers were inspired by 2 separate crimes.
Okay.
One crime occurred in Connecticut where a man killed his wife and put her through a wood chipper.
Ugh.
So that got their attention. And then the other one is a scandal from General Motors with their accounting division, whatever that's called, the GMAC.
Oh, yeah. You're going to have to lay that whole thing out for me. But
Yes.
Yeah.
So there was fraud being committed, and that caught their eye. And in that case, what happened is a GM dealer claimed to have sold cars legitimately, but what they did is they just pocketed the cash themselves. So they sold the car to a customer. A customer paid the money, but
Gotcha.
instead of sending that money on to GMAC, they just pocketed it. And then eventually GMAC was like, hey, where are the serial numbers?
Yeah.
As in the movie.
Yeah.
For these cars, you owe us $320,000.
I see.
Which I don't know if that was the true crime amount or just the William H. Macy amount.
Right.
But that was a crime that they were alluding to.
Which is
That's the trouble he'd gotten himself into.
What does the AC stand for in that?
I'm not sure.
Okay, but it's
Accounting?
General Motors something something.
Yeah, it's like General Motors.
Accounts
Accounting.
and
You know,
they're-
cars.
Guns, cars.
It's like their it's their
Accounts
'cause,
for
you know,
cars.
you buy from the dealership, but then there's also a financing part,
Okay.
and that's how a lot of the dealerships make their money is
Financing's
through the
F.
financing. So that's why they always try to like funnel you through
The
like
worst.
BMW financing or whomever.
Okay,
I don't know.
got it.
Whatever the dealer is. Okay, great.
Okay, so that was the actual crime
That was
that
the true
instigated
events.
the
That
both the
inspired.
movie and all the crime that happened after the movie
Sure.
starts. Like the real crime
That's
inspired the movie.
Prime.
And then
Yeah.
the crime in the movie is this fraud that you
Yeah,
just
it's
described.
this fraud.
Okay.
And so that's why he's got to get the money.
Gotcha.
And so he's doing everything he can
And they
to
kind
get
of bookend
a
the
sizable amount of money. What?
Those 2 real crimes kind of bookend the movie, right?
Oh,
You got the
Yep.
scam at the top
Mm-hmm.
and the wood chipper at the bottom.
Right.
Yeah. At the end, yeah, totally.
The old CoBro crime bow. And
Yes.
Yep.
And the meat, Frances McDermott and Joel Cohen did not meet at Fargo. In fact, they met much earlier in 1983 when she was auditioning for Blood Simple,
Their first movie.
Oh.
their first movie.
Is she
so
in that
she was
movie?
an unknown at the time. Yes.
Okay.
So it propelled both of them. But apparently they were getting really frustrated because they were having a lot of trouble casting her character. And when she came in, they were like, oh, great. And then also
Joel
they
was
fell
like,
in
wow,
love.
wow, wee, wow.
Yeah.
But like, did he wait till the movie was over, or was there an
You know what?
awkward-
I didn't check on that. So I'm not sure.
Hollywood.
Yeah, again, the movie was pretty enthralling. I'll have to get back to you with more details
Okay, thank
later.
you.
And to be honest, I was pretty disappointed with the quality of the article, but we'll move on from that. And then in terms of
Wikipedia.
children, they have one adopted child. His name is Pedro, and he's about 26.
Love it.
So doing the math, his adoption was maybe around when this was filmed.
But she was not, in fact, pregnant.
No,
Okay.
well, not. Yeah, we don't know anything about her life, but
That's true.
yeah. So that was kind of an interesting moment, and it sounds like a pretty cool family. Everybody's winning awards, though. Am I right? So
Of that
yeah,
family?
in that family.
What'd
well, I
Pedro
don't know.
win?
Yeah.
Pedro, I think works in PR. He's won the for,
Of course.
for the best
Congratulations.
segment. That's 60 seconds or under.
Wait, what? Is Pedro our competition?
What?
No, it's a different division. 60 seconds or under. Oh, I guess we would be 60 seconds.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say under? I meant 60 seconds or over. Yeah. So
We're still
he's
60
not. We're
seconds,
not
though.
direct
Okay,
competitors.
61 seconds are over.
61 seconds are over. I'm sorry, I misspoke. That's very embarrassing.
I bet I think what I'm hearing is there is one specific category in which us and Pedro are neck and neck.
We're coming for you, Pedro.
And he takes it from us every time. Ooh, one of these days we're going to summarize something at exactly 60 seconds. Yeah,
While
you're going to get
love
nude
to
thrown over a couch.
The preceding scene before Buscemi is nude. I like the interaction between him and the escort when he's out there on a
so good.
date, I guess.
Chan has some
that's what you
dinner
call it.
theater.
Is that the Chan?
Yeah, that's the
No.
Chan.
Is it the Chan?
But it's not in the movie, right?
It's not in
Oh.
the movie. In the movie, it's called like Celebrity,
The Celebrity
Diner
Room
or
at the
something.
a
Radisson.
celebrity or something.
Yeah.
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 That's funny. But he's making small talk and he goes, like, how long you doing escort work? She goes, a couple
Oh, yeah.
months. Oh, do you find it interesting work? And she's just like,
Yeah.
He says, "You find it interesting work, then?"
yeah. He goes, what did she say? Her line's really good.
She's
It's
like, she just said something
the
like,
fuck do you
what
mean
are
by
you
that?"
talking about? Yeah, what are you talking about?
which, I don't know,
Yeah.
made me laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. And I think the other, the interview that Marge does with the two women,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
it was amazing.
Mhm.
It was so good. It was such a, I don't know, I think that was sort of a DVD moment.
Yeah. Chaska.
Chaska.
CoBro Waco.
Go Bears.
Go
Yep,
Bears.
Yeah, it was really great. And it was really fun for me to watch it this time because I understood all the references. It's like, oh, Normandale. I know that. That's great. It's a
Yeah.
great school. It's really awesome.
Yeah,
but
I
I
really-
caught every reference.
But
I loved her line where she's like, he was uncircumcised. It's like, that's the one detail
was
she
he
could
funny
offer.
looking in any other way?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like
She's
how they
so
just
nice
like,
to them. She's so patient with them.
yeah. They describe Buscemi multiple times, right? As just generally funny looking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
Gary's loudmouth says the same thing.
Right. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Yeah. Multiple times. Yeah.
That was just another just like very Minnesotan thing of just sort of like they don't want to say something actually disparaging about his
Yeah.
looks.
It's like interesting.
It's just this very vague, like, yeah, exactly. It's like the, oh, that's interesting of what does this guy look like?
So that conversation does not pass the Bechdel Wallace, right? Because they're talking about the men. But
No, Carol's our champion.
but Carol,
I thought it was Jamie.
her name was Jamie? Carol and Marge
March?
talk, and they pass the Bechdel Wallace.
Who's Carol?
Who's Jamie?
She works in the police station.
So does Carol.
She says hi to Jamie, but then Carol actually responds to a question.
they have
I
a
thought
convo
Jamie
about skin so
responded.
soft.
Anyway,
I
it
think
passes.
I think it passes back to back.
Passes.
I think it's a back-to-back pass.
Really?
The old CoBro BPP.
What I'm
Oh,
hearing is that Dan
boy.
is trying to save
Just
face.
letters.
Okay, Dan, you can have it.
Hey, I get it. I'll mark that down.
If there's one thing we learned in this movie is that if a white man stubbornly inserts himself into a situation and does what he wants, he comes out on top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
I mean, I genuinely, and it doesn't matter. Oh, one other just quick detail. Speaking of women's names,
Yeah.
there's this wonderful moment where I think Marge is just checking out of a restaurant, or someone's leaving a restaurant, and they're at the cashier's desk. And the cashier is ringing them up, and right above, you can just see like the very top of a note that says, Paula found a gold Timex watch and it's like this little like lost and found
Yeah. That's
notice. Oh,
it.
it was
I love
so good. The gold Timex, it just got me. That's so, because the movie takes place in 1986. I thought it was just perfect.
That speaking of restaurant/hotel, Steve Buscemi and Frances McDormand never sit at a table together at a restaurant, but there are several scenes that take place in
There are.
restaurants, and then a couple scenes in hotel rooms, right? Or maybe just the one.
yeah.
Yeah.
A couple.
Anyway, so I was correct about the setting of some of the scenes in the film.
Very good.
Yeah.
I had
Thank you.
forgotten how cold the cabin was and how miserable
yeah.
the cabin
Oh,
life
boy,
was.
I didn't.
Oh, it's misery.
See
And
their
I guess,
breath.
cabins on the lake, I guess, are largely made for summertime, so they're not insulated.
Yeah. Or they have like just a shit ton of wood, but that one didn't because they had the electric oven.
Oh, they had the oven on with her
Yeah.
just sitting in front of it.
Oof.
Oh, that was the sad. Like, that was really hard. Oh, P.S. Fun fact: the actress who played Jean is from Fargo,
Oh.
Okay.
so local talent.
I have a fun fact for my wife. No big deal.
Wow.
Because she was looking at things because she was trying to figure out if Prince was in this movie because of the credits. LOL. Apparently, it was when they filmed this. It was like an unseasonably warm winter, so they had to keep just like moving locations or using fake snow for all the outdoor scenes.
Oh wow!
Like they filmed here in, I think they filmed here in North Dakota and in Canada just to like try to follow the weather a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah, that sounds like a pain in the ass. I'm sure they were pissed. They're like, "Oh yeah, we'll just go home.
Yeah.
Let's go home and film all the winter scenes." And then it
Did it? Well, they did some of them. I was recognizing highway exits. That was fun to
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. Hey,
Oh, yeah.
sometimes it snows in April.
That's right.
There's a Prince reference. Beth, did you look up some Prince reference information?
Yeah, because
as
in the
well?
credits, there's as the credits go by, there's a little symbol for the artist formerly known as Prince when he
but
went
it's
by
not the symbol, right? It's
but
like
it's
a fake
not.
symbol.
Yeah, it's actually their storyboard editor or something like that. He plays victim in field, so I think he's the guy in the red coat that gets shot after he
Correct.
tries to run out of the car.
Oh.
And he's not credited as himself. He's credited as Prince's symbol on its side with like a little smiley face in it. So it must be some sort of inside joke that
They're
they have.
taking the piss.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially in the UK,
Yes.
Yes.
where no one is from
Oh,
from
that-
this movie.
Those two victims at the very beginning were so sad. Just the wrong place at the wrong time.
Really, no joke.
That's why you don't rubberneck.
Oh. Yeah.
Should have
Well,
just drove past
Yeah,
as
they
fast
should
as
have
they
done
could.
the Minnesota thing and just kept their eyes straight ahead and been like, "I'm sure it's fine," and just moved on with their
Oh,
day.
geez.
That's definitely not.
But they didn't like stop
geez,
or
oh,
anything.
geez.
They just slowed a little bit and then they accelerated. And at first I thought, okay, so what happens is the mean guy
Yep.
doesn't trust Steve Buscemi to deal with the deputy police officer who's pulled them over. And so he shoots
Well,
the
I mean, Steve
deputy through the
Buscemi
head.
doesn't deal with it.
That is fair.
Yeah.
That
He
is a really
completely
fair
fucks it up.
assessment.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. He tries to bribe him. It's very awkward. Anyway, shoots him like in the middle of his head. So it's like super violent. And then tells Steve Buscemi to get out and move the body. Now, if he had also gotten out to help move the body faster,
Yep.
they would have been done.
Yep.
But because he's prideful, he just sits in the car and waits. Steve Buscemi is a smaller person and he's struggling with the body. And as he's struggling, two people driving in a car coming from the opposite way see it, and it's like all in slow motion where they see this guy holding a clearly bloodied and dead officer,
Yep.
and they clearly see the face of the other guy, and so the other guy, the really mean guy, just gets in the car and chases them down. And at first you think they've gotten away because their lights disappear, and you're like, oh good, they turned off their lights, so they pulled over, did something super clever. But it turns out they had just flipped off the road, and he hunts them down, and it's awful because he shoots the one guy who's like trying to run away, and that's super sad, and you sort of really clearly saw his face before. But then he approaches the car, and it's a young woman, looks like. That's just harder to take. And you know what? Here's the point. I am way more sensitive to violence than I used to be, because I'm pretty sure when I saw this movie the first time, it just washed over me. And now it's just like, I mean, this was no Saving Private Ryan, but it was not easy.
No.
That's my journey. That's plot summary, concluding with it being all about me. Oh, boy.
That's podcasting for you.
Yeah.
Well, before we get to our final reviews of the movie that we just watched, Fargo, we like to read and respond to questions that are asked to us on Discord, which you have access to if you choose to become a patron.
For as little as $1 a month.
That's right.
Patreon.com/TotesRico.
That's the one. /.com.
Nope.
And here they are. Amanda ML asked, I remember Marge and Norm having one of my favorite relationships ever. Does it hold up with 2020 eyes?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. They
100%.
rule.
Oh my God.
Wonderful.
They are the best.
They're
Norm,
so supportive of each other.
she has to get
lovely.
up early because a bunch of people died. He's like, I'll fix you some eggs. She's like, no, just stay in bed. He fucking, that motherfucker. He gets up. He makes eggs. He makes toast. He makes bacon. Then
Yeah.
her police car has to get a jump.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Real talk.
He accepts it with quiet dignity.
Yeah.
He's going to get up, put on his snow pants, jump that fucking car.
The amount of times he
Prowler.
says, I'll fix you some eggs really does it
so
for
many
me.
times. And then the fact that then Marge, when Lou asked if she had any breakfast, he's like, oh yeah, Norm made some eggs.
I did think that was P.S. accurate that it took 3 times of
Oh,
insisting.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Perfect.
Norm is also apparently some kind of bird art man
Yeah.
Painter.
who submitted it for a stamp
Gets on
and
a
then was disappointed in which stamp he got.
3-cent stamp.
But,
But
yeah,
she's
there's-
supportive.
Oh, so supportive.
so
She lets
supportive.
him know she's proud of him and
Yep.
that people use those stamps when the
Mm-hmm.
stamp price gets increased.
Oh, incredible.
Yeah.
Before the forever
And you just
stamp.
feel at the end like they're going to be okay. They've got
They're
each
like
other.
they're literally the only healthy relationship in this whole movie.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's great.
I mean, I guess Lou is fine. Like they have a good
Yeah.
business partnership, her and
yeah.
Lou.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Otherwise, they're all monsters
Yep.
or inconsequential
Yeah. And
or
that
victims.
that
Ugh.
actor is like, I swear to God, he's an ageless
Yeah.
vampire.
Agreed.
He's been playing like an affable, looks good for 40
Yeah.
guy for like 100 years, I think.
Yeah. And it's weird though, because sometimes he plays it to horrific effect, and other times he plays it like Norm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I've seen movies where like he basically has the same cadence, but he's fucking terrifying.
Yeah. I don't remember his name, but shout out to that guy.
Shout out to that guy.
Yep.
Greatcharacteractor.com.
Yeah.
Really great.
All right. Eric asks, I guess my question is how you feel about the depiction of Minnesotans and whether the way you feel about it has changed. Also, police.
Yes.
Ooh.
Also
Yeah.
those things.
I mean, I
Well,
guess to the first point, it's changed a lot. The first time I watched it, I had no personal connection to this state, and now it's where my child was born and where I've lived the last 9 years, and I feel some quite a degree, I guess, of connection with Minnesota now. And so I was like,
But like if
fun-
you went back and smelled that Pacific air for like 3 days straight,
Ooh,
like you'd all
yeah, I'd
just
be fucking surfing on oranges all
just
day long.
reset.
Serve on oranges.
Yeah. And then also police. Yeah.
Although
Yep.
Frances McDermott, to her credit, does some very good police work.
Yes.
Yeah.
For
She's
example, she stops the suspect instead of killing him.
yeah.
Yeah.
She's kind of what you hope police would be like.
Yeah.
Sort of.
In a
I mean,
way.
I hope they just stopped existing entirely. But that's me.
Abolish it.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's as far as movies with cops in it go, I don't know, it was easier for me to stomach the most because they're not like
Sure.
stomping on black people and shooting
Yeah.
everybody all
And
the
like
time.
she, to I guess the movie's credit, like she pulls out her gun because she just knows there's a murder car and she just hears a weird noise. So you're like, okay, fair enough. And then she sees the guy shoving a body through a wood chipper, and she still doesn't actually shoot him. She just tries to tell him to like stop. And and then he runs, and to her credit, she intentionally, I assume,
Yep.
shoots him in the leg rather than just shoot him a dozen times in the back like cops do in 2020.
Yeah.
So
before.
good for what?
And all the time.
All the time, yes. But like, you know, even in fiction, I feel like that
Oh,
happens
sure.
a lot more in movies where it's just like, yeah, that's just what you do.
Yeah.
Oy.
So good. But also burn it all down, and America is a hellscape. Law enforcement was created as an output of the aftermath of slavery, and it's all a nightmare. USA number 5. This movie is fun, and Frances McDormand is good.
Great.
Does that answer
Any
your
other
question, Eric?
questions?
Yeah. Anybody else want to reflect on Minnesota, or we want to move on?
I think we covered that
Yeah, we
quite a
can,
bit.
we talked about it.
Yeah.
Would love to hear how everyone feels about wood chippers after rewatching.
I'll tell you a
Carzon asked
story.
that. Sorry.
Okay.
True story. When I was in the 3rd grade, my family moved from
Soviet
a
Union.
suburb in
Yeah.
Memphis. Nope.
Greece.
To a small town outside of Memphis. It's like a 45-minute drive outside. And we bought 4 acres of land. We didn't. My parents did. 4 acres of land with the idea that we as a family would clear it and eventually get a horse.
Okay.
And to that end, my mom bought a wood chipper.
Okay.
And I will tell you right now, that wood chipper sat in our backyard. I think it may have chipped a little bit of wood, but we lived in that house for 9 months and then we moved.
Oh.
We chipped almost no wood. And we definitely came nowhere near having a horse. And I was really excited when we moved. So,
When you moved
that's
away,
my wood chipper
or
experience.
when you moved in?
Oh, when we moved away, it just was a really, it turned out to be a not fun place to live.
Mm.
The house was kind of cold all the time. And it was a really small town.
No wood chips.
And I realized actually later, it was Bartlett, Tennessee, and I realized that I was really into cheerleading, and I've always been into cheerleading because of this, but it turns out the year that we lived there was the year that Bartlett, Tennessee won the National Cheerleading Championships.
Bring it on.
So no wonder. But it was just that kind of town, and like that was the kind of thing where like the arcade closed down, and my friend said it was because of drugs. And she whispered it, and I didn't know what drugs were. I thought that was like some kind of monster or something.
Yeah.
I had no idea. So I'm just saying it was just kind of,
so like
it was
when
just
you
not the most fun place to live, and I was really excited when we left.
So when you would look out into that uncleared land, you thought like, what if drugs is out there?
No, I
What
looked
if
on the
drugs
uncleared
is
land,
lurking?
and I thought, this horse is a lie. This is never happening. It was so much wooded area. Like
Yeah.
it was an insane thought. Like that to me, I look back and I'm like, that is the most insane conjuring up of an idea that we're going to clear.
It's very specific.
This family are going to clear enough land
Yeah.
to have a horse.
I appreciate the like specific sequence of events in that hypothetical,
Yeah.
right?
No, it's good to have a plan for sure.
Clear land, get horse.
Yeah.
No, buy home,
Oh, right.
get wood chipper,
Yep.
clear land,
Yeah.
buy horse.
You were halfway there.
You were halfway there.
Oh my gosh, a number of steps.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my wood chipper
I
story.
honestly had the thought when we got to that scene of just like, oh yeah, I guess they're pretty powerful machines. It's like I guess
Yeah,
that's
you
pretty
wouldn't wanna-
effective.
I mean, I feel like people get their hands stuck in there and stuff, right?
I mean,
People
I
fall-
imagine like newer models are designed to not even allow that to happen, right?
Yeah, I would hope
Like-
so.
Yeah, like there's some stop mechanism.
But ultimately, a terrible way to get rid of a body. It just puts it everywhere.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess maybe he thought like it was going to snow. I have no idea. Like, I don't know what his plan was.
Who
I
knows?
don't know that he thought ahead. To me, one of the other main things about this movie is it's not easy to get away with crime.
Right.
Crime is not easy.
No.
A lot can go wrong.
Yeah.
Ooh, quick shout out to, I guess, everyone involved in making this movie. That whole sequence where she gets out of her car, you can just hear the wood chipper for a while is so perfect. Because, like, if you hadn't seen this movie before, you have no idea what the fuck is happening.
Yeah.
You just
Oh,
know there's
right.
a weird noise happening, and you know that Peter Stormare is around somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
And he
did
has
such
an
a good
axe.
job. Yeah, and they did such a good job of just like slow burning that, where like you're kind of just following Marge around the cabin, and like even when she gets around the cabin, and like she can maybe start to see it, like they don't show it to you for a while. Oh, so good.
Oh boy.
Such a good looking movie. This movie.
Yeah, good job.
Roger
Coen Brothers.
Deakins, you are king. You are a king of cinematography.
Gordy.
Look him up. Look him up. He's done a lot of movies you think of as like, oh, that movie looked great. It was Roger Deakins a lot of the time.
Ooh.
Awesome. ST.
Wood chippers. This was about wood
This
chippers.
is about wood chippers. Yeah, I'm afraid of large machinery, but I'm not
yeah.
more or less afraid after this.
Right.
Now I'm pretty good. Now my progress is I'm pretty good with putting my hand down the garbage disposal
Ooh.
when you like drop a something down.
Oh,
and
it's
you
so
gotta get it.
dark though.
Ugh,
I wouldn't do
slimy in
that.
there.
Really, what do you do when
Get
you
some
like drop a
tongs.
bottle cap down there?
First of all,
Don't do that.
Okay, accidents
Okay.
happen.
Just don't do that.
What if it turns on and your arm gets chopped up?
Ugh.
I mean,
Have you seen Gremlins?
I've seen Gremlins.
Yeah, you seen Gremlins?
No, what you do is you stare at the switch that turns it on the whole time to make sure
but
no
what
one
if your
jumps out and gets it.
brain starts to control the switch because you're thinking about it so hard,
Oh,
not
well,
turning
hard.
on?
You're controlling it to stay off with your brain.
You think you are, but what if you get confused?
Yeah, you're not good at telekinetics yet.
Maybe
How
you
dare
get
you.
distracted for a second because there's a loud noise behind you, and then it turns on.
Oh, just don't do it.
Just
Well,
don't put
I'd
a
like to
Leave
know
the
how
bottle
you
cap in there forever.
Okay, here's it. Teens.
It will
next time?
eventually grind up.
No, it won't.
Oh no, that's
Teens.
terrible. You're gonna have to replace your garbage disposal.
You have to replace your whole fucking disposal.
You know what?
It's gonna back up.
That's
Worth
just
it?
the cost.
It's worth it? Okay.
That's the cost.
Teens, first of all, if you drop a bottle cap, okay, first of all, don't drop a bottle cap in there. Number one. If you do, because things happen, Molly, find the switch that controls your garbage disposal. Rip it out of the wall.
the whole switch.
Then put the whole switch, rip it out of the wall, then stick hang a towel over the hole so you don't have to think about it.
over the whole.
Then
what?
stick your hand. The
The-
hole in the wall.
The hole in the wall. Okay. I mean, the real answer is, of course, unplug it before you stick your
Yeah.
hand in there. But like,
Right.
who's got time?
Yeah.
Everybody.
It's just a bottle cap.
Oh, I do. I have time to unplug it to make sure that my arm doesn't get ripped
Also,
off.
look at all you. Look at all
Also,
you
I
fancy
feel like it's
fucking.
rushing.
I don't have a garbage disposal. I'm not
Okay.
going to have
Yeah,
one
I
of those in
don't
my
either.
house.
All right, I don't either.
Those arm eating
Am
machines.
I the only one with the garbage disposal?
You're the only one in such a hurry. You're dropping bottles
But I think
down.
you're dropping bottles in the garbage disposal. Yeah, yeah.
Don't drop in bottle caps. in the disposal.
Oh my God.
Give that man a Dad Hanks.
He's gotten so many already. Anyway, what are we talking
Are
about?
there more questions?
Yes, there's
Yeah.
one more. SD Guala asked, do you think anyone has actually gone searching for that money on the roads around Bemidji?
Sounds like yes.
Yeah, my wife, no big deal, sent me an article.
Fun fact?
about
Fun
this-
fact from wife?
It's not fun.
Oh.
About this very topic. I guess there is, and I read the article a couple times and it confused me, so we'll maybe tweet it out in case I get this wrong. But I guess there is also a new show that's like based off of an urban legend that a Japanese woman came to Minnesota and died here looking for the lost money.
From Fargo?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
From this movie, yes, the money that Buscemi buries because it
Yep.
says it's a true story. So blah blah blah.
Oh.
But I think a woman did come here and like talk to the police and had a picture and didn't speak English and just said Fargo. So they assumed she was looking for the lost money of Fargo, and then she later died. But I think what really happened is she got I don't know, she was in a relationship with a man from Fargo that she had met in Singapore and was kind of looking for him and ended up coming here and killing herself instead.
Oh no.
So that's the
So it's
real
like-
bummer fact.
Based on
Yeah.
some fact, and then got
And then
extrapolated
someone, yeah,
into,
and now they've made
yeah.
like a fun treasure hunting show out of it.
Right.
Fun.
Boy, fun.
So that's the only one I know of, which is actually not, they weren't looking for it. But I imagine some
Right.
people are. I mean, I thought it was a real story with real money that was still out there until today. So, I
But
imagine
why?
people
Here's
are
my question though.
scooping.
For people, here's my question though. Like, he doesn't bury it that deep. Like, why would it still be out there?
It's under the snow. It's not even under the ground.
Like, literally, like whoever owns that land would eventually go to that fence line and be like, "Oh, what's this weird briefcase doing here?" If nothing else.
Who
People
knows?
want to find money.
People do things.
Also, check out Fargo season 1 to learn about what happens to that money.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh, that's right.
I've never seen the TV show.
No?
I did. I watched a little bit of the 4th season, but I feel like it kind of veers because it's in Kansas City. It's not in Fargo anymore,
What?
right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Kansas City's not in Fargo.
Yes, but forget it. Spoiler alert for episode something of that season. The mob from Fargo gets involved.
Oh, yeah. Bokeem
I've only seen
Woodbine's
like the
there?
first 2 episodes.
What's that?
Isn't Bokeem Woodbine involved?
I think he shows up for a little bit. I wish he was in the whole season. Shout out to Bokeem Woodbine. Fuck. Beth, leave this in. Bokeem Woodbine is great. Good
Tweet at
actor. Good, cool guy. Maybe. Don't be a creep.
Yeah,
Beth,
don't
leave
be
all
a
this
creep.
in.
Oy.
Okay. Well,
Wow.
that's that.
Fan engagement complete.
Fan
Yep.
engagement complete.
You're
We often read
welcome.
reviews, but we don't have any, so you will not get full Minnesotan accents from Minnesota
Oh, this would have been a
residents.
good one. I would have been very confident in
You would have
doing this
crushed.
one.
Yeah, you would have
Here,
been.
will you just do a review of your favorite ice cream?
Ooh, there you go.
Give me-
Oh. This Ben and Jerry's is very good. There's little brownie bites in there, and there's some chocolate chips. I don't know. Now I can't do it. The
You
pressure of
crushed
the
it, right?
review is terrible.
You're doing great.
So our rating scale, as we all remember, is CoBro dojos, which
course.
are dojos in the traditional martial arts studio sense. But this one, everybody sits in director's chairs, and it is for filmmaking.
Yes.
You can come in and challenge the Coen brothers, and if you whoop their ass in filmmaking, you get the dojo,
Right?
I
Yep.
think. And
I love it.
You can have more than one because you have a franchise opportunity to produce as many as up to 5 is your limit.
Yes.
Yes.
Great.
Great.
Excellent.
Thank you for re-explaining the CoBro Dojo franchise model.
Yep, no problem. Opportunities are now available.
Yep.
Dan, you
Yes.
gave this 4.
Yeah.
And I was just so enthralled by your description, I didn't write any notes.
Great. Yeah, I think I remembered it being good, and I thought it'd be good, and like I thought it was probably one of the. I think I said it was probably still one of their best movies, and probably one of the best examples of like that the CoBro toe that they thread of like comedic darkness. And I agree with myself, 100% Utah. Yeah, I thought it was really good. I was genuinely impressed with how tight the script was. 5 CoBro dojos.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, jeez. Beth, you gave it a 4.5, and I think I wrote the word favorite.
Okay.
Facebook favorite.
Facebook favorite.
Oh, yes, Facebook favorite.
Again, I agree with my high school self trying to be cool. I really enjoyed the movie. It was
God, I wish I could
so
say
good.
that ever.
Yeah, it's very, very well done, and it's a great script. 5 CoBro dojos,
Wow. Full franchise.
full
Wow.
franchise, full French.
Full French.
Full French.
I got a full French at CoBro Dojo.
Oh,
Full-
come on
oh,
down
yeah,
and
I got
get
a full
yourself
French
a full
down there.
French.
All right, I gave it 5 because I love a CoBro, and this has got the AFE.
What? Oh, right.
Oh, the AFI?
I forgot
okay.
because I'm not a cinephile what that meant.
Right, yeah.
I
Cinephiles don't
remember.
know. That's
Of course you did. Of course you did.
I am actually going to lower it to 4.5. I really liked it,
Whoa.
but it didn't quite fully pop for me. Like there were some moments where I was like dragging a little bit. I was charmed by the charming parts, but it didn't quite. I wanted it to go harder on things, so still really liked it.
Like if they killed 6 people instead of 3,
Maybe,
Or-
yeah,
Wow.
4.5.
Great.
Oof.
Molly,
But I just want to remind you real quick about that couch scene, couch flip.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they needed to go harder.
well, it's my rating.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
Wow.
Stuck to it.
Yep.
Six-
Not even peer pressure could change that rating.
No,
I mean,
wow,
just-
very firm in his stance.
Just like how Jamie definitely helped it pass the Bechdel Wallace.
Thank you for agreeing with me.
Ugh.
Molly, you started to give this a 4, but then you, as you always do, you remembered that we respect our listeners
Oh, right. Thank you.
and bumped it up to a 5.
Yep. You know what? I'm going to stand behind my 5.
Wow.
Yeah, this movie, like as I mentioned, I'm more sensitive to violence, but I think they made every victim of violence and every violent act feel real enough and sad enough that I was like, I guess if you're gonna have it, you might as well make it real, make it human at least. And yeah, I just thought their script was just crackerjack. It was just absolutely perfect. And I enjoyed the performances a lot. And yeah, I don't know that I would, like, I'm not eager to watch it ever again.
Right.
But I did appreciate it as a complete piece. So yeah, you know what? Not everything can be Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but I still think this deserves a 5.
Nice. That is like, I mean, that's how you get yourself that's how you get a full French right there. Is you just walk in and sit in the director's chair and be like, all right, Joel and Ethan, let's talk about Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. And they'll be like, stop talking. Here's your black belt. Here are the keys to the building.
Yeah.
You're right. It's the pinnacle of cinema. We desperately are trying to reach that with all of our films.
Wow.
Nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's true.
Oh.
I just wanted to point out that this is our 99th episode, which means that our next episode will be our 100th episode.
Triple digits.
Woo! That's
So-
We'll be a
wild.
century old.
Is one whole century we've been doing this podcast.
That's amazing. It's a full.
Just this one.
It'll be a full AFI. It'll be a full AFI of episodes.
Yeah.
It'll be a full
Oh,
AFI.
yeah.
So tune in to our next
As long as
episode.
we don't cancel the podcast
Wow.
before our next episode.
Oh yeah. If you want to tweet at us every day for the next month and just check in and be like,
Make sure we're still on.
"Did you cancel the podcast?" That'd
Yeah.
be helpful.
Yeah.
Are Molly and Dan getting along okay? What's going on with that?
Yeah, please, for the entire month until the release of the next episode, please tweet at us with your concerns for why we might not get there.
Yes. I would love to hear the reasons why you think we won't make it to 100.
Totes Recall is hosted by Molly Chase, Beth Gibbs, Dan DeQuette, and Dan Linden. Produced by Beth Gibbs. New episodes of Totes Recall drop on the 15th of every month. For more information and bonus content, visit us at totesrecall.com. Thank you so much for listening.